all of the changes taking place around you and with you, and that you are being conscious and choosing your path wisely. And in speaking to that, I've been thinking a lot about the power of non-action. You know, when you're exposed to a lot of stuff and you're trying to figure out how to move forward, what is the best path for you? How do you need to look at things maybe differently so that you can come up with another option for yourself, and particularly in a way to do things that maybe you haven't done in the past, in the same way, in the same light. And a lot of times we build on this anxiousness that something has to happen, that, you know, we're ready, right? We have desire, wants, needs, and we are ready right now to do something. And yet we're feeling stymied. We're feeling like it's not happening for us. So I want you to think about a few things. What if you take a step back for a minute and you just let things unfold? You know, non-action is an action. It's you choosing not to go left or go right at this time, to allow the river to dictate which direction you might want to go. And that's not such a bad thing. It doesn't mean you're abdicating your responsibility or you're abdicating your control or you know, or oomph to make things happen, right? You know, non-action is about giving yourself time to think about stuff. Non-action is a tool you can use to wait and see what manifests, and then see what resonates with you based on that, and then you're able to make an action. A lot of times we force stuff, right? I mean, we're just like ready now, and we're just gonna, you know, hell or high water, we're just gonna make this thing happen. And, you know, I do think there's a time and a place for that, obviously, but not all the time, right? And sometimes we're always pushing, we're always trying to drive things forward, and that kind of makes us the architect and the engineer, right? We're trying to think it up, and so we're saying, what should we do? How should we do it? And then we actually have to go do that, right, to be successful. So what if you chose not to necessarily think of the what and when, but you just were in a place of, I'd really like this to happen in general, without a big story, but just the feeling of, I'd like to feel these things, I'd like to be in this place, and then let it happen. But in order to let it happen, you have to let go of that control, right? So non-action is really also a lesson in you saying, hey, maybe the answer that I'm formulating right now, the answer that's in me right now, isn't the right answer, so therefore I need to wait and see what answer comes to me. This is a time where everything is changing, and it's going to continue to be that way for a while. And so you can choose to operate from a place of comfort or you know, repetitiveness. In other words, you know, a pattern, a habit. You know, these are things I did then. This is the way I do it. You know, but if it's not giving you a result, if it's not working well for you, if you're creating dis-ease inside you, then the only thing you have to do is to change how you're going about things, because you have no control as to what's around you. The only way you're able to influence what's around you is when you bring yourself up to a certain point so that your beingness lifts everything around you. And the only way that can happen is that's not an outside-in thing, that's an inside-out thing. And so when you think about non-action, I want you to not view it as, well, I'm just going to pause and see what happens, like you're abdicating, again, your control. Actually, what you're saying is, hey, I'm going to take a little extra time here and just make sure that I feel it. And in feeling it, I'll know. And you have to trust in this, because you've been around the block a few times and you're still here, so you know this works. You'll feel it, and you'll just know what is the right direction for you when you don't force it. You know I'm right. Until next time.